Imagine a man thousands of miles from his homeland wielding so much influence that his words ignite actions across continents. All right, wonderful people, lovers of freedom, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome back to Let's Talk TV, your one and only. Yes, sir, we already know what we are here for, and we'll be going into the details of this news. Yes, on the topic Simon Ekpa. All right, these are the details of this news. Simon Ekpa, a Finnish Nigerian activist and self-proclaimed prime minister. They are calling him self-proclaimed, but then, okay, Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, find himself at the center of international controversy, arrested in Finland on November 2021, November 21st, 2024, for allegedly inciting violence in southeastern Nigeria. Ekpa's detention has drawn global attention, with the United Nations expressing concern over his prolonged custody without formal charges. So yes, my people, the UN has gotten involved in this, and like what I normally say, it is something that you would think of and you would come to understand the full state of these people or what they actually want at this point. But my people, it is not something you would think of lightly. It is not something you would look at and think of lightly. It is a very, very heartbreaking thing that has come to stay. Okay, without wasting much of our time, let us continue. First of all, I hope you have already noted that it has been stated here that the UN has shown concern, especially over his prolonged custody without formal charges. Okay, Ekpa, residing in Lahti, Finland, is accused of using social media platforms to promote activities leading to violence against civilians and public authorities in Nigeria. My people, the painful thing about this whole situation is that the place where he's inciting this violence is on his own people. The people he is also claiming, he is also saying that he wants to save. How does he work? My people, if they are accusing him of inciting violence in the north, yeah, bro, we'll agree to it. In fact, we'll say yes, that is what he is doing, or the possibility of it, yes. But in his own place, no. That is where these people used to have messed up in. The Finnish National Bureau of Investigation detained him alongside 4 others, suspecting their involvement in financing his activities. Nigerian officials have been vocal, seeking his extradition to face charges in Nigeria, asserting that his online campaigns have destabilized the region. Of course, that is what they would come out and say, that of course, this is what they would come out and tell people, just to make them fall aside, just to make them believe anything they want. I'm not surprised it is one of the things they are saying. Of course, the zoo government are looking for ways to extradite him to Nigeria so that he would become, or it would turn to the same thing that they are doing to Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, and of course, it is not going to work. Let us continue. The situation intensified when on December 2nd, 2024, 517 delegates associated with BLGIE voted to ratify the Biafra self-referendum, declaring the restoration of the United States of Biafra. My people, this was noted worldwide to show that the move is not a small one. This move, symbolic to many, underscores the deep-seated desire for self-determination among certain groups in zoo. Supporters of Ekpa have since organized protests in Lahti demanding his release and highlighting what they perceive as political persecution, which it is. It is not what is seen as political. It is what it is, political persecution. Let us call a goat a goat. However, the indigenous people of Biafra, the main separatist group in Nigeria, has distanced itself from Ekpa. Yes, of course. In a statement, IPOB clarified that Ekpa was never a member and condemned his methods, emphasizing their commitment to a peaceful struggle for self-determination. My people, I know that whenever it comes to this particular thing about the IPOB Nigeria, I have always detested them for this. Dialogue, peace, And that is what we keep doing every year, every tenure. And that is why it never works. Because they know that there is nothing vocal about it. There is nothing dialogue made about it. And they keep on looking for ways to push people around, to push every single people, push those there around, and they succumb. Or we do not know if they are even taking bribes or anything at all that makes them sit down and watch as they are being maneuvered and stepped on. Very, 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 very terrible thing. But then, as the international community watches closely, the interplay between national security concerns, human rights obligations, and the quest for self-determination continues to unfold, raising critical concerns about the balance of power, influence, and justice in a connected world. My people, this is what it is. And the earlier we come to understand that we have come to stay and the Biafra government has come to stay, the better for them. But of course, I believe they have decided to live in delusion to what can be possible.
Attacked and they had to leave their communities in drove. Then
did you see? Did you hear him? He said he understands that in the year 2020 and 2022, that some group, it was even difficult for him to call that, to mention Fulani herdsmen. It was difficult for this criminal, look at on here, and iri go bendigo because of lies and deceit. It was difficult for him to mention that name, Fulani herdsmen terrorist. But he knew that he has no any other option if not to mention the name the way it is. And he has to mention it. Look at him. Look at him. Onyori, criminal. Onyori. Orige goni engo. Onu engo gogi. Onyori. So, are you telling me that it was what happened in 2020 and 2022 till today that these locals you are talking about that deserted their farmland and homeland have not been able to return back to their homes and farmlands because of what happened in 2022, and there is no Fulani that has occupied that land? Now, yet the locals are unable to return back to their homes and farmlands. You see yourself. This is what criminality have caused on our own people. Betrayals everywhere. Quest for fame and money. Money and power mongering. This is what criminality has caused our own people. Lying to their teeth. Emalezioku emankuya because akugogogwo.
And we began to question, wanted to know between 2022 and today, has there been any such incident that occurred? But what we were able to find out, okay, number one, we found out that yes, indeed, somebody was killed. A certain Donatus Ndubisi was actually killed in the farm.
Do
you think it's possible?
Donatus. This man, Anamajugi, Kedonye Buru Donatus. Because everything that this man is trying to say, when it's something that has to do with Fulani herdsmen terrorists, it becomes very difficult for him to say it. It becomes very, very difficult for him to speak, even to mention that name. It becomes difficult for him. Now, let's continue.
One, then we also found out that there was a woman that was raped. And then...
So, you see, why he's trying to... Let me give you the psychological, the way this man is trying to use psychology. He's trying to use, although I've forgotten that word. This man is using reverse psychology against our own people. As in, if he's trying to let you know, yes, that now the allegation or the alleged massacre of people, something happened, but it's not really the massacre as it was portrayed on the social media. He was trying to let you know that, like he said, one Donatus was, unalived, and then the other one, he said one woman was raped. One Donatus was unalive. That is what he's saying. He's telling you that yes, something happened, but it's not the way it was being, showcased on social media. And he's telling you that yes, something happened, but it was just one of this, one of that. Reverse psychology. That is what this man is using, but we're going to bust him.
The original account, or the earlier account we heard, the woman was raped, that they actually stuck a stick into her private part, and that.
You see, he said what they had, but let's continue.
She had
Pay
actually
attention.
Died and was in the mortuary. But I can say we went to the home of that woman, and when we interviewed her, she said, I may not.
Can you see? Ifugo ndị Igbo, ife aka fa ji wele nwanne fa, ife aka ndị Igbo ji wele Maazị Nnamdi Kanu, ife aka ndị Igbo ji wele Maazị Simon Ekpa, egbue dike na ọgụ ụnọ, ọgụ amaruo achọwa dike. Pay attention, my people.
Say that she's hale and healthy, because she explained to us that she was still having difficulty in.
Something that I have videos and picture evidences that happened in so many places within that community. I even posted a video last month where one person mustered courage to go to the center, Ehamufu Center, to record a video where everywhere was completely deserted. Nobody is seen at sight. There's a 4-corner road there. There's a 4 road and junction. Nobody was seen at sight. Everywhere is completely deserted. Now let's continue.
In walking, but then that hadn't, so that was a very false narrative. We also wanted to find out whether there was any incident of mass killing, and we can tell you, I can speak authoritatively, that all the reports we heard does not indicate that there has been any such mass killings. So when people
you are a liar, you are a rogue. Ifele megbuogi osinafa ya bụ anya n'ụka. Anya n'ụka ka osina anya n'ụka. Ifele megbuogi. I wonder how you will be enjoying this money, knowing that you have come and lied against the dead. Shame on you. Ifele megbuogi n'ezinụlọ gị. I wonder how you will be, enjoying driving your car, your big car, enjoying that money that was paid to you by the local government chairman, and then, oh, chai, alo. How would you be enjoying that money that was paid to you by the local government chairman of Ehamufu, knowing very well that this money you're enjoying is because you lied against the dead? Ifele megbuogi ndị Igbo. Chai!
Report that about 100 or 200 people had been killed and murdered, and then these things there actually wasn't anything like that. But then again, we must also say that there is still skirmishes of insecurity. The local government chairman admitted as much, that there are still skirmishes of insecurity. But that is not also different from what we are seeing in some other communities. I'd like to draw an example.
You see? But that is not different from what they are seeing from other communities. Therefore, Ehamufu people can be massacred, they can be chased away, their lands can be taken over. It is not a new thing. It is not different from what they are seeing in other community. That is what this man is saying. And I'm saying, shame on you. Ifere me buogi. Ifere me buogi. Chukwu di anya no ka ifere me buogi. Shame.
Recently, we saw a video that went viral. This thing happened at Uboka. Uboka is actually somewhere in Kano East local government area. I don't know, you probably would have seen it, where a young man was taking a video and he was actually showing how a Fulani herdsman with his cattle, the man was pulling out cassava, from the farms and then feeding it to the cows, and he was actually saying that no, this is unfair, that this might actually lead to some kind of crisis. So I wanted to draw some kind of similarity between the two incidents. So we have issues of insecurity, the issues of Hamufu particularly, but I can say that from all the things we observed on Friday, that there has not been any such mass killings as advertised or as promoted.
All right. Ehamufu. That's where you have, assessed, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. You said Ehamufu. But there's been reports by a social media influencer called Nedu Ani, who's talked about, the Udi local government area being under siege, both in Afa, Egede, Eke, and some other towns. They've said that, they've witnessed a tremendous amount of killings. And we did see videos from women for weeks protesting. And I know that the government of Enugu State have alleged or have said that these attacks are orchestrated, and they've accused certain individuals who they say are criminal agitators and failed political elements of plotting this smear campaign against Governor Peter Mba's administration. To assess that claim, especially in the Udi local government, I wonder if that's the same area where Ehamufu is, and also the claim by the Enugu State government that these killings are orchestrated.
Those are the people. Those are actually the people that sent him. I am telling you, you are going to hear something. Those are the people that sent him. They say that they don't want their people to tarnish their names and their government. They don't want people to insult them, to call them names, because they want to continue with their agenda. Ke we turn on the bani to ndị na-akpụ isi n'anị. Ifugo ka enwe ike ịtọnụ ndị be anyị to ndị na-akpụ isi n'anị. Those are the people that sent him. Pay attention, you will see everything. Go that place, I will let you know.
Okay, OG, that Udi is actually quite different from Ehamufu. Ehamufu is located in issues or local government area, while Udi, some of those towns that you mentioned now, are located in Udi local government area. I cannot speak very authoritatively concerning the Udi local government, but I'd like to also maybe use one of the visits we made to the Command and Control Center to speak based because we were taken to the Command and Control Center and we saw the sophisticated nature of the equipment that were there. We were made to understand that those things were the images we saw were being fed by thermal cameras that are AI embedded. Because from there we could see some of the flashpoint areas in Enugu State where we had issues of insecurity from time to time. We could see the vast lands of issues. Honestly speaking, I do not know. The security agencies might be in a better position to answer some of the questions you've raised concerning the activities in Udi. But if from what we observed at the Command and Control Center, I can tell you that there are cameras everywhere. I asked a question that they didn't even answer. I said, how were these cameras actually planted? Are they actually in the satellite? Because the way the images were, I mean, they could zoom to even little objects that people were carrying, passers-by were carrying and moving about. And, I was actually stunned that we had such a Command and Control Center. I must also say that the Enugu State government is doing itself a disservice, by not promoting the kind of equipment they have. One of the questions that I raised,
which is what he has come to promote. Are you getting it? He said that he is surprised that Enugu State is doing a disservice to itself for not promoting the equipment they have, which is what he has been paid to come and promote on this on television. That is the job he's doing now. Pay attention.
Race that day was, I mean, are the security agencies, those who man the roads, are they aware that we even have such sophisticated equipment that actually captures them? You know, we've had incidences of security agencies harassing innocent citizens on the road, extorting money from them. I mean, from that command and control center, you could see these things clearly. I mean, they would zoom into faces and you could see the faces of you know, the security agents. They clearly identify, and they explain that, you know, the amount of information that they generate on a daily basis is also analyzed, and what they do, they also carry out a behavioral analysis. So I want to believe that the security agencies will be in a better position to know whether there have been such crisis in Udi local government area. Let me also say that we are aware that there are people who actually also, you know, deploy misinformation, you know,
Are you getting it now? Let me also use this opportunity to tell those who are asking me to block somebody in the comment section. Don't worry about anybody. You already know that right here we don't block people. We allow them to speak and rant as much as they can. Once you stop, you know, responding to him, he will disappear. Don't worry about anybody. Let him continue ranting on the comment section. He's going to disappear once you stop responding to him or her. Let's continue. Some of them are coming here with Igbo names, but in actual sense, they are Fulani. You don't know. So don't allow them to distract you. Just pay attention. Write your own comment as you like, you know, and pay attention to what we are doing, and let the Fulani with Igbo camouflage name continue their idiocy in the comment section.
In order to gain some political mileage. You know, we have seen in the past where people have also, you know, manipulated issues of insecurity in order to oust someone from government. Let us also take our minds back to the Bring Back Our Girls campaign. You know, when Goodluck Jonathan was the president of the Nigerian nation, we saw how he was eventually ousted out of office. We know that a lot of the campaign was around insecurity. We saw people who were also, I mean, magnifying figures, exaggerating events on account of the fact that they wanted to, you know, gain that political position.
Are you getting what this man is doing? He is indirectly campaigning for the local government chairman and Peter Mba that sent him to come and do this. And he claimed to be a journalist who has gone to do an investigative journalism in a Hamufu. Who has gone to do investigation in a Hamufu. That is what he's coming here to claim. To claim as an investigative journalist. He has gone to the investigation in Ehamufu to ascertain the damages, the level of damages in Ehamufu, and he has come here to tell the world that it is all lies, that they are doing it to tarnish the image of the government. Pay attention, while we already have videos and pictorial evidences of what really happened in Ehamufu.
They wanted to make sure that Jonathan did not continue as governor. So if maybe I cannot say authoritatively, I think I mentioned that earlier. So if there are people who are using such stuff, maybe because they intend to dent the image of the state government, I think the security agencies, it is their responsibility to, with all the equipment we saw, with all the facilities we saw, I don't see why such people should not be, you know, I mean, such thing cannot be investigated to the point that we will narrow it down to such persons who are carrying such rumors and have them arrested and prosecuted, if that is the case in this case.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Chukwuma. Now, Honorable Obiago was on another platform.
Chukwudi is my name.
Apologies, Chukwudi, Dr. Chukwudi. And he spoke on the issue in Isuzu local government, right? And Isuzu, local government. And this is what he said. He said the protest pertaining to the women who came out that happened was orchestrated and planned because the women came to his council and told him that some people pushed them into going for this protest. And what they were told was that the cows on the farms belonged to the government and that the reason for the planned protest is because of a ranching project. So he implied that that the people believe that the government have an interest. Most women who protested were referring to what happened years ago. They are being misled to believe that the government is the one frustrating them. So basically, he said that the women who even came out to protest in the first place do not even know why they were there. Now, I have to confirm, are you saying that there's no, at this time, there's nothing like any herdsmen killing anyone? That's my first. Are you saying that that is not the case? Then second, you talked about and you admitted that a man was indeed killed and a woman was raped. Juxtaposing that with the sophisticated equipment that you've just spoken about, whatever happened to those two people? Was there any follow-up to the man who was killed? The woman who was raped, I don't know if there's a gravity to how bad the situation is, because I don't know if you meant the fact that she didn't die, but she was only raped means that there was information. There's a part to that story that is true. So I just want you to expatiate on these issues. Is there actually, are you saying there is nothing like this? Because that's really the crux of this conversation. Are you saying there is nothing like any situation right now? One is killed. This sophisticated equipment, are they following up on that? Why was he killed? Where was he killed? Who killed him? The woman who was raped, who raped her? Why was she? That's just what I want you to clarify for me here.
Take a right hand, shake it out.
Now, I want to show you something actually. There's a certain question that was asked to this man, I don't remember who asked that very question, but I'm going to search for it. I'm going to search for that very question because one of the presenters decoded this man and knew that this man was on a mission. And that very question was asked where he exposed himself. I don't know if I can see that very spot here, or I should just let it play till that very, spot where that very question was asked. But I think we have to continue first while I keep on searching for it.
Okay, Kachi, thank you very much for that question. First of all, let me take it from the middle. Who killed Ndubisi Donatus? I was invited, one of the local stations in Enugu here invited me a couple of days ago to speak on this matter. And who killed Donatus? Because even during the radio program, actually called in to say, that the Ndubisi, some people called to say that this young man was actually murdered by Fulani headsmen. And then we also got other calls that said, no, this woman was not murdered by Fulani headsmen. I think there's a dearth in investigative journalism. I want to indict, this is my major constituency, the media. I want to first of all indict the media and say, we're not actually doing the proper job that we should do. I'm in the classroom right now. I know I also worked a little as an investigative journalist. So we need people who will go undercover to issue to actually unravel the truth. Okay, because the mother of...
Why do you need the people again? When you say you have done it, you called yourself an investigative journalist. You said you have done the job. You have gone there to unravel the situation. So why are you indicting any journalist again, why you claim to have done the job? Have you seen what you... Goodness me, what is wrong with our people? Hey, hello, Mello.
One of the narratives we heard was that the mother of Ndubisi Donatus said that those who murdered her son, that she heard them when they were discussing in their local dialect. This was part of the narratives we heard, part of the versions we heard.
You see?
And then we had another person who called him to say, no, he was murdered by Fulani. So we need to, I'm not in a position.
You see? In that same situation, this man is now trying to, to put this very allegation on the villagers. He's returning the allegation on the villagers, indicting the villagers. That's why he said that the mother of that boy said that the people who committed the crime were speaking their local dialect. So this man has gone to the extent of trying to indict the villagers. He went that far to return the allegation on the villagers. Unbelievable. People can be very, very bad and wicked. I never believed this. Chey!
To say exactly what happened.